Alright, everybody out there in the Craftchest Nation, it is I, Craftchest, and I'm going to do something that I rarely ever do, if ever. I can't remember the last time that I have done this, and it's to do a review on a movie that I just got finished watching. And oh my fucking amazement, glory hole. I can't even come up with the words to describe how utterly amazing Berserk Golden Age Arc, the Egg of the Supreme King is. The artwork in this movie is so incredibly seamless that you could swear that you're watching an actual CGI movie. It is an anime, and you could tell that it's an anime, but it is so well. It's almost like a game in a way, like a beautiful, vibrant game. I mean, it almost looks wowish. It almost looks Rosh. It almost looks like you're inside of this actual world, especially for those of you who appreciate good anime, good manga, good MMOs. You'll know exactly what I mean whenever you watch this movie. And I'm sure that there's going to be tons of people out there acquiring Berserk any way that they can. I, for one, have purchased the Blu-ray because I am an adamant Berserk fan, always have been. I don't own all the mangas. At one time, we were collecting the mangas, but the movie has been anticipated for so long now. It was almost a rumor that it was not even going to make it to the movies. They're making 3 different movies. The second one is due to release this month, and I am so glad that they pushed out with English subtitles the Blu-ray that they did now. And it is amazing. That's the only word that I can come up with. It's beyond words. Without doing any spoilers, I want to just tell you that the beginning of it with the Bazuzo fight, that's what they start off with in the original. That's not really a spoiler. But the way that they do the fight and the way that the fight ends is like, oh, you just like, what? No! And then the fight after that, whenever, Guts gets paid and he's going off, they change the storyline just a bit, but not to the extent to where it ruined it. It actually made it better because the next fight was like, oh, I can't believe that. And that's the way the entire movie went. And I just can't get over how they took the original movie, the original storyline, and as far as my memory is concerned, that could be the way the manga was actually written out. I don't really know if the poor horse was done like that or not, but it was like, oh, I can't believe that just happened. The sword play, the fights, the fucking barrel rolls were like so realistic looking. I was glued to my seat the entire time, and as a matter of fact, when I get done with this review, I'm going to fire it up again and watch it again. It's that fucking good. Alright, Berserk, Golden Age Arc, the Egg of the Supreme King, is a definite must-buy, even if you're not an anime fan. Yeah, you got to get it directly from Japan right now. I think maybe Amazon, from what I understand from a couple of people, have this available for U.S. purchase. It does come with English subtitles, so that's good. The dubbed versions won't be out probably until all 3 movies are out. The first one released in January, February. The second movie is due to release this month sometime. Heck, it might have already done it. I didn't do research on it. And the next movie is due to release in November or December. And all 3 parts are going to be the entire storyline up to date, as far as I know. And if they are successful, rumor on the proverbial Berserk vine says that they may even continue it further. They're going to see how well this 3-part release does. And they may be working on it now. Who knows? Now, I'm not going to go in depth as far as, giving you each storyline and all that, but I did notice that they did cut out some key parts that really confused me, and poor Minister False was not in this storyline.
How did this happen? Bastard!
Yes, I know, that was a very important part of Griffith getting to the status that he did in the royal court. He wasn't in this particular movie. That may be by design. We may see him in the next series. I'm not sure. He has to play some type of hand because in the original release of this series, the 26-part series, he actually helped Griffith trap the king of the royal court of the little backstabbers, as it were, in that fire in the tower where they had their little secret meetings and all that. So he has to have some type of play, unless they just skip it completely and do like they did in a couple of different parts here, where I was like, well, wait a minute, that changed a little bit here and there and yonder. I'd say like 5 different areas that I was really that I took note of that they changed, but not in a way that ruined it. Some of them were actually molded together, and they took multiple storylines that were in the original, even in the manga and the original release, the series, and molded it together in such a way that it was like, oh man, I like that better than it actually was originally released. And I know I'm kind of like stepping over and skipping around and all that, but I don't want to spoil it. You have to get this movie any way that you possibly can. Get it. Berserk is amazing. If you don't like anime, I don't even give a fuck. Get it and watch it. It's well worth the hour and 20 minutes of your life to watch this movie. Actually, it's an hour and 17 minutes long. It's including credits. And I promise you, you will not be disappointed. When you do watch it, come back here and let me know what's going on. Once again, I'm not going to go any further than that. I'm going to let the Bob Samurais and the Forever Worlds out there do their big review, because they're the actual gurus as far as animes and mangas are concerned. Myself, I could do reviews on Berserk manga for manga for manga. Okay, I've read them online. I don't own them. Me and Guntoad are avid Berserk fans, always have been. That's one of the things that brought us together, was our love for Berserk. It's one of the things where Kitty and JP, we're really, all of us are just avid Berserk fans and always have been. I remember a time where you couldn't go to sleep without Berserk playing. That's how much I loved that movie, and other people loved that movie as well. All right, and that's not even a lie. You literally played Berserk to fall asleep, and if it wasn't playing, you just sit there, toss, turn. That's how good it is. This one is going to be probably the same way, especially when all 3 of them come out, and just load them up on the PC and just let them all play one after another. And like I said, after I get done with this review, I'm going back and watch it again, because I want to see what I missed the first time, because half the time my mouth was like, oh, I can't believe that happened. It's just beautiful. The sword play was amazing. The sound effects and the clinking and clanking and the armor sounds and the way they moved looked realistic. It was amazing. I haven't seen CGI look as good as this anime made real life look in an anime perspective. Does that make sense? Oh, and I'm going to end it there. Poor Minister False. I wish you were in there, and I hope we see some of that storyline kind of mold itself into part 2. At the end of it, it says this is the end of part 1. It goes into part 2, and it gives you like snippets of upcoming events that are going on. And yeah, there's a lot of storyline yet to be seen. I will say it ends it around the part where Griffith says, for a man to be my friend, he must be an equal. That big speech that he did. The music is one thing that I will say before I end this. The music was a little bit lackluster during speeches such as the one Griffith had right there at the end, talking to Lady Charlotte whenever they're sitting out by the fountain. After they said Urias had been killed and the young lord and that. And before, it played this like mystical type of, you know the music I'm talking about. They really didn't have that going on. They had a little ambient type of really low volume something in the background. I really couldn't even hear it. That was something that I did find as a negative about the entire thing. The battle music was, it was good. But whenever they were in those moments, I think they could have actually done a little better job at the music for different little areas like speeches and some of the talks that they have with each other, thoughts amongst themselves, like, what do you call it? The reflection. Flashbacks, there you go. Flashbacks or whatever. And that's the only negative that I really found. Other than that, I'm giving this one a 1,000 out of 1,000 thumbs up. 10/10, amazing. Can't wait for the second one. And yeah, so that's it. Ooh, that guts. Casca, Griffith, everybody. Just an amazing movie. Did I mention it was amazing? It's a craft in the mind, everybody. Go out there and have some fun and get this movie.
Bastard!
Boom.